Hello again, and welcome to Winning with the Wrangler at Dick Powell's Leadership Corner, brought to you by Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training Development, where our passion is building leaders of today and tomorrow. Now, leaders, today's information has come from many different places and many different people. So if you hear yourself in our conversation today, please remember, it is not all about you. I need to change my glasses here real quick so I can see you better, and maybe you can see me better. I'm enjoying my first cup of coffee for the day, and I want to talk to you about some things that are really important to me. I've come across these time and time again, and here's the question for all of us who are leaders. Can you see where you're going in the dark and a dangerous world? It seems that, gosh, we're told to be afraid of almost everything in our life today. And when I'm out and about, I have to tell you that sometimes I'm on airplanes, I'm a little bit afraid. Sometimes I'm driving cars in the middle of that traffic jam. I'm kind of concerned. And you know what? I'm also concerned about what's going on in the world around me. But let me take you to another place, another time, just so we can all get on the same page and understand what we're going to talk about. Well, I want to tell you about the first time I bought a headlamp. You know, sounds pretty easy, right? Well, I bought it for exploring. We were going to go in some caves, and we were going to be going deep inside. And I don't know if you've ever been in a cave, but, well, it's dark. And when you turn out the lights, it's really dark. So you need a good headlamp. You need something to illuminate the path before you. Now, I had to do some things, though, because I had to make sure this headlamp fit on my hard hat. We were going to be going to some places that were really pretty dangerous. Dark and dangerous world, it certainly was. So when I first got my first one, I'll never forget it. It was a big carbide thing. It went up on your hard hat, and the hard hats were huge back then. And when you put it on top of your head, it looked like you had a big toad on the top of your head. But in today's world, gosh, they're really small. They're LED lights, and batteries last, 24 hours sometimes. Of course, you always take an extra set just because you're smart. Now, like almost everything in this dark and dangerous world, things have improved. They've gotten better. But I have to tell you, we're still using them for the exact same thing, to go down into the deep, dark, dangerous world of a cave. So let's start to look a little farther into this. Well, look forward into the dark and straight ahead in that very small column of light and knowledge. You see, when you have that light, it's focused right in front of you, and you don't get to see the big picture. Now, the same thing happens in life when we wear on our eyes a set of blinders. You know, those things that they put on horses to only see straight? And they have to move their entire head in order to see. That's why they put them on there. Well, these blinders, like they put on racehorses, allow only for one thing. That's seeing straight ahead, never side to side. And when we do this, we can never see the complete solution to any problem or grasp the opportunity waiting just out of our sight. Now think about that just a little bit. When you're the leader and someone comes to you with a problem or an opportunity, do you listen to the whole thing before you speak? Do you take some time to discern, maybe even do some research on it before you give them an answer? Or are you strictly looking straight ahead and not seeing any solutions on the outside? Well, I do like headlamps. I like them because it allows me to set up camp after dark and seeing what I'll encounter ahead in the cavern created by that light with the ability to use both of my hands, which I have found really important when you're down deep in a cave, just so you know. Now, here are some things I, excuse me, know for sure. Doing the research. You see, we must research every option before just driving ahead in a straight line with our blinders on. I'm always asking, what is it that we cannot see beyond the light? Many times I will take that headlight and headlamp, and I've got a bigger one that will throw a wider beam so I can see much wider than myself. In the business world, I do the same thing. But that wider beam are the people around me who can provide information that I cannot see when I have my blinders on. You see how this all starts to make sense. Now, the second part that I'm going to encourage you is to get prepared. You see, when we prepare ourselves to be ready for the opportunities that are all around us, there are opportunities beyond the light from where we're looking. When people come to me and say, Dick, I can't get a job. I've been doing this thing for 30 years. They've laid me off, or they've put me out, or something else has happened, but I can't find a job. They're only looking straight ahead at where they were instead of opportunities out from around them. Many times, if we spend just a little time, we'll look at new opportunities in a different light. Oh, I know how to do that. Oh, I've done that. Well, you said you could only do this one thing. Well, to do that one thing, you need to know how to do all of these things outside that one tunnel vision. So many times you need to get prepared to look at those opportunities, to open your mind to different things. So do the research. Get prepared before you execute. You see, you really can't execute good decisions unless you have done your research and gotten prepared. But because you have done the research, you spent the time putting it in, you've actually put some action into it, and you found the things you need to prepare yourself with, maybe some new learning, maybe some go back and brush up some things, maybe learning something entirely new. Then the opportunities seem to glow in front of you as if they're a big light coming towards you. Totally, totally different. You see, when we've done the research and we've gotten prepared, we can execute great decisions. We're also ready to accept opportunities as they come. You see, opportunities are presented to each and every one of us every day. They're all around us. I don't believe sometimes we actually understand that or look for it or accept that or accept the ones who are kind of just handed to us. So if you find yourself making a lot of excuses, and the excuses are just that, excuses, just take a step back. Listen to the whole thing. Do some research. Get prepared. And execute with great, good decisions. Now, this next part is called networking. You see, the networking and sharing of knowledge will bring us together with like minds of different ways of doing things to the best of everyone's abilities. Not just ours, everyone's. And you know what always cracks me up is that people don't want to share. I want to hold it all into myself and not share it. Well, you know what? When you do that, you've got your blinders on. Sharing is the biggest part and the most fun part of any type of knowledge. You know, that people used to say, knowledge is power. Well, knowledge isn't power. You know, shared knowledge is power. Yes, you understand what I'm saying. If everyone's light was pointed in a different direction. We could see the whole sphere. We could see the whole playing field as we turned from one to the other. One of the things I learned from being down in the caves as a scoutmaster, it was kind of fun. Have the boys kind of get in a circle and aim their headlamps directly in front of them, so that as you stood on the other side of the circle, you saw a whole new panorama of where you were in the dark. Yes, there were times when we all sat down in a circle and then we turned our lights off. And we experienced just how dark it was. And then one by one, I would ask them to turn their light on, so they could see that if you only could see directly in front of you, you didn't know if there was a path to the left or a path to the right, or there was anything coming down from the ceiling, or something you were going to trip over on the floor. But when everyone used their headlamps as a spreading device and spread out, we could see lots of things. And the opportunities arose in front of us. What a great opportunity to network and share. The next one is celebrate. You see, we must celebrate the accomplishments, all the learning experiences. And we need to sometimes celebrate the things that didn't work out quite well. But letting the light shine is an important piece of any leadership opportunity. You see, you can't do that, though, unless you've listened and learned. Unless you've taken time to do the research and get prepared before you execute, and then network around with everyone else. That celebration is not just you standing in a corner jumping up and down all by yourself. It's a celebration with everyone all around you. You see, can you see where you're going in a dark and dangerous world? You know, it is kind of dark and dangerous out there, but there's so much to capture and enjoy. Now, the last one we're going to talk about on this section today is evaluate. People often ask, well, Dick, why don't you ever put that in the beginning? Well, I see this whole thing as a big circle. So we must evaluate each win and each loss and learn from each one. If it's a win, what did we do best? What did we do? What did we do better than anyone else? What was it that made us win? And if it was a loss, what did we do different? And what did we learn from that? And what will we change next time? Great questions in evaluation. Evaluation allows us to really grow. You see, it's that time we take to really look in depth at both ourselves and the company, the corporation, the church, the family. It's those times when we can really put some definite information down. So there is darkness. But I'm going to tell you what, there is light. Where might the light shine brighter on you next time? The evaluation piece is such an important piece that we encourage, those of us here at Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training and Development, we encourage you to do it almost on a daily basis. And we do here at this company. We do it all the time. I keep a journal. Robin keeps a day runner. We're always looking at what are we doing well? What are we doing the best at? What things do we need to sharpen up on? And maybe, are there some things we need to leave out? Are there some things we need to add? You see, if you don't do that, though, well, you're just guessing. And with no metrics, guessing means you're not going to take and go very far. So when someone says to you, hey, can you see in the dark? Well, yeah, I can see in the dark because I put on a headlamp. What's a headlamp? Well, headlamp allows me to take and do the research. It allows me to take and look at a situation and really dig into it and find out all I can about it. It allows me to get prepared. If I've done some research and I found that I need to add or subtract or I need to learn something new, it allows me that time to do that. And shining a light on it means I get to execute it at that time. And because I've done the research and gotten prepared, the execution is almost sure to be a win. And if that's true, then I need to network and I need to share that with others around me. Just how it came about and what worked and what didn't work, and actually enjoy the team and the group building opportunity of relationships. You know, the thing about celebrating is it's not celebrating if you're doing it by yourself. It's just you there. John Maxwell always says that if you think you're a leader, turn around every once in a while. If no one's back there, you're just out taking a walk. You're not leading anything. But evaluate. Evaluate. I just can't encourage that near enough for you to take the time to put in there to evaluate every single thing that you're doing. Well, I'm going to jump into something because it's timely. And by timely, I mean it's something that all of us leaders run into from time to time. The topic is confrontation. Now, if you're a leader and you've never had any confrontation, well, good on you. I maybe not believe you or think you're not telling me the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God truth. But confrontation it happens. I'm going to tell you personally, though I personally I'm not much into confrontation. I don't really care for it. I'm a pretty happy guy and who likes to believe the best in everyone. I truly do. But sometimes, though, well, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and confront an issue with another human being. And sometimes that gets messy. Sometimes it's just no fun at all. But here, let me share some things with you that will make it go better for both sides of the situation. Would that be good? Well, sure it would. Let's take a look at this. First of all, confrontation. Do it privately, not in public. Remember this, remember this, remember this. Praise in public, confront in private. Be considerate of the other person's feelings. You would not want someone else to call you out in front of the whole group with everyone standing there. Give them the same respect you would want. This needs to take some intentional planning on your part. And it needs to be intentional. It can't be off the cuff. And it can't be just, well, you know, I need to go talk to him, so I guess I'll go do it. No, it needs to be more than that. The second tip I'm going to give you is do it as soon as possible. Don't wait. You see, it will become worse when it has time to fester and build. Do stop and think clearly of what the issue is and why it is important to you. And I'm going to encourage you to think before you speak your mind. It's a terrible thing that we don't have a way to put words back in our mouth. Or we don't have a way to wipe someone's memory once they've heard something we've said. But we don't have that power. And so I'm going to issue that opportunity for you to take the time to really be careful. Number 3, one issue at a time. If you come with a long laundry list that makes everything just confusing and waters down the original issue. So focus, stay on task. Don't allow it to take and run into 14 things, and just keep it to one. Number 4, make the point. Be clear and concise. Think it through. Don't beat the dead horse. In other words, say it once, say it clear, say it concise, then stop and listen. It seems like every time I talk to everyone about leadership, I'm talking about listening. I guess leaders, we really need to listen more than we talk. 2E plus 1M. Number 5, work with an issue or action the person can change. Bringing up something that they have no control over will just be wasting time and belittle them. Seek solutions. Now, these solutions aren't going to be all one-sided from your side. It needs to be the two of you working together on solutions to fix the situation, to change the situation. But again, if it's something out of their control, they have no control over, this is not the one to bring up. This is not the one to spend time on. I hope you understand. This next one I'm going to tell you in our today's world is one that we need to all work on, including myself. Number 6, sarcastic remarks are out. When we do this, we're saying the issue is about the person, not the action. Hope you see the difference. This will cause heated reactions, and the conversation will move out of control very, very quickly. Now, if this happens, stop, apologize, and start again. You see, frustration is never an excuse. But flippant remarks, sarcastic remarks, are a part of our today's world, no matter how we get around it. We seem to want to fix everything with a quick word and a quick solution. And quite honestly, that's not how the real world works. It's how the real world covers things up. And then this thing, one thing that you're going to talk about and trying to find a solution, turns into a heated discussion or shuts down completely and now goes off to fester and become larger than what it is right now. Number 7, the words never and always will promote the fight or flight response. Do your best to stay away from them at all costs. The reason is they're seldom really true. Well, I never do that, you know. Well, you always do that. They're almost never true. It's way blown out of proportion. It's building a huge anthill. Okay? Make sure you stay on task. Now, number 8 is going to be even harder. You see, I'm going to encourage you to ask, how can I help? I believe you'll be surprised how this will diffuse the situation and work towards building the relationship between the two of you. How can I help? Many times people want someone to listen to their situation. So listen. And when they get all done, they're totally talked out. If you ask that question, how can I be of help? Oftentimes this will diffuse it very quickly, and you can move on to the real situation and look for solutions together. Number 9, do not say you are sorry for this confrontation, because you are not. You're the one who sought it out. And if it was not important to you, would you do it again? If it was not important to you, you would not do it, or you would not cause it. You see, we as leaders are always in this funny middle ground sometimes, where no matter what we do, we'll be wrong. No matter what we say, we'll be misunderstood. No matter how we act, it won't be how someone thinks we should be doing it, because the expectations are always going to be from both sides. And during conflict resolution or conflict pieces, the first thing that happens when we go and we talk to one another is my expectations are things that are going to happen, how we're going to find a solution and move on and, let this go. The person that you're confronting very well could be that they have totally different expectations. Or they come into your office and they're all fired up and they have a confrontation with you. They're bringing it to your table and their expectations are quite different. They might, if there's no trust, expect you to blow up and get off the handle and go off the rails. If there's true trust, they might expect that you'll sit and listen to the whole entire piece. You'll do some discernment before you answer. You see, it's all about relationships. Now, there was a thing that was taught to us a long time ago. It was called the confrontational sandwich. And I have to tell you that I've practiced this for years and it works. When you're having a confrontation with someone, compliment them on something that they're doing or something that's going on. And then confront them with the problem or opportunity that needs to be rectified, fixed, taken care of, some solution come to. And then always leave them with a compliment at the end. I really appreciate you taking the time to work on this situation, and I think we can all make this happen. You did a great job. That will oftentimes diffuse this really quickly, and the next time build a trust factor where they'll know that they can come to you with any type of situation. And when you go to them, it won't be, hey, this is a confrontation, I'm the boss. It'll be more, hey, I see this happening. What do you think we can do about it? How can I help? It's a totally different way to really present the opportunity. In the end, this piece, this conversation, the skill is important in every relationship we have. This skill of working with people with some kind of conflict, I'm going to tell you that it's always going to be there. It doesn't go away. The people you live with and those that surround you deserve your very best. And when I say that, I don't say it lightly. I say it that this is a piece that you need to practice. We all need to practice. And the one that, I struggle with because I'm pretty quick on my feet with my words and is the number 6, remarks, sarcastic remarks. I'm always on guard that it doesn't come out and sometimes I've had to ask, did you take it that way? Because I didn't mean it that way. The confrontation is part of life. It is part of who and what we are, and it'll always be here. So think before you speak, do some research, get prepared, make it all happen. I hope you've enjoyed talking about our 2 programs today and learning a little bit about it and taking yourself to that next little piece about, can you see where you're going in the dark and dangerous world in confrontation? Well, until next time, this is D.W. the Wrangler just coming to you and saying, thanks for being a part of today's program. I hope that you have received a nugget of wisdom and guidance that will help you become a better leader. Now, if you have any questions or comments on today's program, please do not hesitate. Give me a call, 727-422-1833. Send me an email, dick@ewfw.org. Go to the website, spend some time taking the, there's a box there you can send me a note at www.ewfw.org. And when you know that you're ready to have me come and put on a leadership seminar at your location, give us a call. Get on the calendar quickly. We book up quite fast over the year. 727-422-1833. Well, until next time, this is D.W. the Wrangler. ride hard, ride fast.